Went live a little early. Hello. Happy Friday. We're gonna give everybody a hot second to go on here. Waiting for the connection to, oh, there it goes. It's happening. Happy day. Give me a second. Gotta get all this set up. There we go. Pause myself so I don't get distracted by myself. Hello, Lissa. Let's see who all's here early. I mean, I'm used to you guys being early on Tuesdays, but early on Fridays, that's a new one, and I am here for it. Hello, Rachel. Hi, Rosie and Kayla. Hey! Oh my goodness, the people are coming. We're gonna give everybody a minute or so to get on here. I did in fact share with the I Track Bites community today. I hopped over on their Instagram and was like, hey, if you guys want to join me for the weekly weigh-in, come on. Well, I actually said swipe up. I'm not used to having that feature. So I gave them their swipe up, so we'll see if anybody decides to mosey on in here from the Instagram I Track Bites community. Why is my chat not scrolling? There we go. Hi, Sarah. My friends, happy Friday. I feel like my camera's up too high. Is that an accurate statement? Hang on. Let's see here. Soon, you're so close to having that I know. I'm so close. It's so hard to not be so obsessed with the numbers when you are so close to a milestone like that, you know? I am 170-ish followers away from 10K on Instagram. I am so stinking close. And I'm just like, you need to not worry about the numbers. You're going to make yourself crazy over it. You need to stop doing that. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm one good day, truly one good day away from hitting my milestone. It could take me a week. It could take me 2 months. And I have no freaking idea what it's actually gonna take. This close. But thankfully, I Track Bites let me go ahead and share. So we have that 160. You checked right before this. That close. Hey, Audrey, happy Friday. Oh man, my friends. It's been a week. Anyone else? Drop me a hands up emoji or something if you've just had a week. I find that I am going, hey, Mindy, no problem, walk away. I actually did that this morning. I went for a walk this morning and man, did it feel good. I went early. Like I wasn't feeling the whole get to work thing. Hello, Rachel. I wasn't feeling any of it, to be honest. And I knew that my Lift 4 workout was going to be all hit today, and I was not ready for that either. So I was like, you know what? It's not ridiculously cold outside. I threw on my like fleecy sweater thing, and I went for a 25-minute walk, and it was so quiet in my neighborhood, and we have this beautiful path that walks you through like a little wooded area, and the last time I walked through that wooded area, it was brown and sad, and now it's green and thriving and is absolutely gorgeous, and I was so pleased just to like, oh, it was so nice. Like there were 2 squirrels fighting or mating. I don't know which one it was, but they were making a whole ton of racket. And then I heard like a frog in a pond and all the birds, and I was like, this. And I turned on some worship music. I was listening to Anthem Lights, who they're magnificent. If you like male voices singing to you, Anthem Lights is definitely a group worth checking out. They are phenomenal, and they're all on Spotify. So I was listening to some worship music by them, and it was just such a peaceful and much needed way to spend about half an hour of my time. And it felt so good that I might go for a walk again this afternoon. We shall see. And there is a reason, there's a logical reason for that, not just the mental benefits of going out for a walk, as Mindy is experiencing in real time right now because she's out for a walk. But my weigh-in had something to do with the motivation behind it as well. So if y'all are ready, well, first, to recap the week, let's recap. This past week was a week of the Fab Four smoothie, which means I had a Fab Four smoothie for breakfast each and every day for the last 7 days. What is the Fab Four smoothie? It is from the book Body Love by nutritionist Kelly LeVeque, and it is a smoothie and a way of eating that incorporates 4 different key elements into what you eat: fat, fiber, protein, and greens in all your stuff. And the Fab Four smoothie puts all 4 of those components into one smoothie, one easy to consume vessel to get all of those things, right? So last time, I've done this experiment 2 other times before, and with massive success of being able to eat higher end of the calories, use up all of my points / bites, whatever you want to call them. And last time I did it, I rewatched my video to understand what happened the last time I did it. And I talked about how I ate tremendous amounts of fat. I overate all my dailies, all my weeklies, and ate 3/4 of the activity bites that I earned, and I still lost 1.7 pounds that week. It was absolutely like mind-boggling success on this Fab Four smoothie thing. So I thought, hey, you know what's a great idea? Let's go ahead and do that again. And I'm gonna be honest with you. This week, I was not feeling the smoothies at all. I still had them every single day. I did not want them. I think I was here for it like 2 or 3 of the days. I think I was here for it. Yesterday's smoothie, I test drove a protein powder that got sent to me, just like 1 packet from this really expensive brand called Protein Milkshake or something like that. I don't remember. They come in like these pretty little packets, and they're in like, the shake is in like a champagne flute or whatever, and it's like $80 or $90 for a tub of the protein. It's absurd. And it wasn't even good. It wasn't even good. And I mentioned that in my video, which I'm legitimately trying to debate whether or not I published, because I was a terrible vlogger for somebody who was supposed to be vlogging her week on the Fab Four smoothie. I was awful. I think I showed you guys maybe 3 smoothies. And I did vlog yesterday's because I had an opinion on this protein powder, which was not a positive one. So like yesterday, my smoothie didn't even taste good because of the protein powder that was in it. A couple of days it was really cold, and so like drinking the cold smoothie just didn't feel right, but I did it. I powered through, and that was all well and good. Are y'all ready for the results of the weigh-in on the week of the Fab Four smoothie I didn't want to be on? Any guesses? Any guesses? I gained 0.3. Guys, gained 0.3. Now, that's like, part of me wants to be furious about that. If I'm being completely honest, I want to be so miffed about it, because the last 2 times I did this experiment, Lindsay's here. Hello, Lindsay. So last time I did this, I lost, or the first time I did it, I lost 2.2. The last time I did it, do you need to post a review if you didn't like it? No, I do not. I flat out email. So I got sent this packet, and I was supposed to post a recipe with it on Instagram today. And I emailed the chick yesterday, and I was like, look, I don't like your protein powder. So if you want me to post it with a review, I'm going to tell them what I really think. So do you actually want me to post it? So I got myself out of an Instagram post I didn't really want to write, which is awesome. But no, I didn't have to, because it was something they gave me. I gave them the option of me not posting. But in my vlog, I tell you guys that I didn't like it, and I did not like it. Shoot, what was I saying? Rosie threw me for a loop, and Lindsay threw me for a loop. Something about not wanting to be mad about. Oh, so I lost 2.2, and then I lost 1.7, and then today I gained 0.3. So like, part of me wants to be livid. I want to be livid about it. And then the other part of me is not livid at all, because I'm like, my heart wasn't in it anyway. And so, you know, it just figures that that's the result I got. So I've literally been just going like this around my weight, just up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit. Freaking quarantine, man. And I say that it is a partial blame to quarantine. Now, let's be completely honest here, my friends. Minnesota is opening back up on Monday, like for the most part. Non-essential businesses get to open on Monday. Salons and stuff and the Mall of America and all that is opening back up on June 1st. So like, we are going back to normal. But the honest to God truth is, normal is not old normal, it's new normal. Which means that we, the world, still have to adjust and accept emotionally that we are going to be living this different life. Like, normal is different. now. And it is what it is. So while I'm sitting here and cursing quarantine, the reality of the fact is this is my new normal and I've got to accept it and work with it instead of patiently wait for this quarantine to be over. Because at this point, it's not really quarantine anymore. It's just new normal. And that's okay. And that is something that in real time I am learning to accept, and that's fine. The reason that I accuse quarantine of being the issue is this, and I had to have a real honest to God heart to heart with myself this morning as I was disappointed in my lack of loss all week. And I weighed myself every day this week, and every day the scale failed me, every single day. Now that's not to say I had a bad day on not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. What day was that? Wednesday was a day that Miss Gracie got to go and have a spa appointment. She got to go to the groomer and she looks beautiful now and her nails are cut and her hair is cut and it's all well and good. There was something that triggered me being out. And my mom actually called me last night after she saw my post on Instagram. She goes, I have to talk you off a ledge because there's really no reason to feel that way. And I'm like, I know there's not, but there's just something about like, as the person who runs the errands and does the things, I'm used to being out and about every single day. And today is day 61 of quarantine / new normal for me. So that's 2 full months. 2 full months. That's a long time. That is a sixth of the year, ladies and gentlemen. And so just as I was out and about and like my car is telling me it needs its oil changed and I'm angry at it because I feel like I just got my oil changed, but did I really? Because it's been 2 months since I've like actively driven my car more than 4 or 5 times. And so I'm out and about, my car is angry with me and I'm driving. And as I'm driving to the groomer, it's right by my P.O. box. It's right by a Caribou Coffee. It's right by this new place that hopefully will open really soon, an acai bowl place that is just spectacular. And they finally have a location near us. All these things. And I'm sitting there, and as I'm waiting curbside pickup, we legit curbside picked up my dog. So like everybody for the groomer, the groomer only has 1 customer in at a time. And there's a little bit of overlap or whatever. So like as I pulled in, she brought out someone else's dog who was parked next to me, got rid of that dog, went in the back seat, grabbed my dog, said, what do you want done? Same as last time. And I'm like, yep. And she gave me a card, just passed me this little card that said, here's your pickup time, here's your total, blah, 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 call for your next appointment. So we could have as little interaction with each other as possible, which was great. Very efficient, A+ on her part. Very pumped about that. But at the same time, I'm like, this is so weird. This is so weird. And then like what I would do while I was out normally, under normal circumstances, I'd be like, I'm out and about. Let's go grab an acai bowl or a cup of coffee or run an errand or do something. And I had no errands to run and no place that I had the option of like going to hang out while my dog was getting groomed. I couldn't go and blog at the Caribou Coffee because it wasn't open to the public. And I'm just like, something about that whole situation triggered me a little bit. And all of that to say, the way it triggered me was in such a way where like it was I don't even want to eat the stupid smoothie, blah, 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 blah. But I came home from dropping her off and I made this stupid smoothie anyway and turned it into an acai bowl, put some granola on it, probably a little bit more granola than I should have. And then I wanted a cookie, so I ate a cookie. And like it just kind of turned into not even a binge day. Like if I would have gone back to track my day, I don't think it would have been too extreme, all things considered. But I didn't track that day. I legitimately did not even track that day because I got to dinner time, which was a perfectly on-plan meal. Chicken and vegetables and a little bit of pasta, and it was awesome. Like totally great and totally on plan. But by the time I got there, I texted my accountability buddy and I'm like, look, full transparency, I did not track today. I had a day. So when I finished my dessert for the night, I was like, I'm done eating. Consider this to be me telling you is sending you my empty tracker for the day. I'm done eating. I've declared it. Moving on, tomorrow's another day. And she said, sometimes that happens, no big deal. So could the fact that I had that one day of yeah, I overate, but I don't know exactly how far, and it might not have actually been that bad. Could that have affected the weigh-in? Absolutely. And as I was having that day, I even told myself, I'm like, you know this is going to affect your weigh-in, right? Like, your weigh-in is in 2 days. This is a dumb time for you to do this. And I did it anyway. And that's okay. It happened. It's done. I forgave myself for it. Yesterday, I had a 1,200 calorie day. I was like, you gotta rein it in, girl. You gotta rein it in. And I did. I vlogged the 1,200 calorie day. It was great. It was perfect. It was wonderful. It was a low calorie day, which I don't normally do that low calorie, although more on that in a second. But I was like, after having that day before, it was okay, and I needed to rein it back. And I was like, maybe this will help me on the scale. No, it did not help me. So I was like, well, it is what it is. So did I deserve it? Yeah, I probably did. But another thing, and Lindsay will appreciate this, I'm still very aware of my cycle and where I am. And because we are past ovulation time and into the next phase of things, that is when the weight gain or water retention or all that stuff happens. You are your leanest right after, or right when your cycle starts is when you are leanest, and it just kind of goes downhill from there. Could that have been something that affected my weigh-in today? Absolutely. But I got to thinking, and I got to show you guys. Ugh. So you remember the consistency calendar video that I posted just the other day? Was that Wednesday's video? I don't even remember. About how, pick your goals and be consistent with it and all that jazz. Y'all, I only had 2 off days in the week. 2 off days. Some were higher calorie days than others, but they were still within the Jordan Syatt warranted calorie allotment, which is still heavier than what I'm used to. I think a low calorie day is 1,500 calories and a higher calorie day is between 1,650 and 725 or something like that. But the point is, I only had 2 days, which means 5 days, I was within my calorie range. Some days I was under my calorie range, and I still had the gain. So that's what got me thinking. I'm wondering, because I vividly remember as I rewatched my video last week, I talked about how I ate all the fat, I ate all the protein, I ate all the points, and then my weeklies, and 3/4 of my activity points. And then I made the comment of, but I was incredibly active this week. And that's what got me thinking of, okay, I wonder if truly my problem is because of quarantine, and this is why the whole I partially blame quarantine thing. Because of quarantine, is that why I'm not, am I not moving enough? Am I not getting the normal burn that I normally get from going to the gym and doing those workouts and all that jazz? And is that why the Fab Four failed me? Is that why? The answer could be no. But I have to wonder, especially with my body and the fact that I have less muscle mass. I really desperately, one of these days, want to go and get one of those tests that tell you exactly what your BMR is, the amount of calories you burn at rest. Because I am partially convinced, and I know Lissa's convinced of this too, because she has commented to me about it several times, but muscle burns more calories than fat, right? Like, that is a known fact. The more muscular you are, the quicker your metabolism is and the more fat you burn, and the more calories you burn, rather. Does my body have, my body does. My body does have less muscle mass and less muscle density because I have a disease that affects the nerves, that affects the muscles. I have no tricep strength. I have all these things, all those things. Do I really need to be eating fewer calories than somebody else? I'm going to say the norm. But if you put me, my exact weight, my exact body, if you duplicated me, but you took away the CMT aspect, which means this person who is the exact same as me, but who grew up with a normal muscle mass and thus did the same body pump and strength training and everything. Like, if we were identical humans walking through life in the exact same way, and we got to this day, May 15th, 2020, in quarantine, would the other girl be burning more calories than me at rest? And that's an honest to God question I don't know the answer to. But that's what got me thinking. I was like, holy crap, maybe I need to up my game in terms of the movement. Like, truly, maybe that's the thing. I don't know, but maybe that's the thing. And so what I'm doing is twofold. And the topic of today was pressing on and pivoting when you're discouraged. And I know there are several people in here that are discouraged for whatever the reason may be. Could I have undereaten? Rosie, it's possible, but I don't think so. I really don't think so, because most of the days I clocked in 1,600 calories, 1,500 calories, 1,700 calories. Last Saturday was 1,800 calories. I don't think I underate at all. There's no way that I underate this week. If anything, I overate. So pressing on and pivoting when you're discouraged. Personally, I'm discouraged by this because I'm realizing that, like, or at least I am speculating, I am hypothesizing that the new normal for me in quarantine, why did my screensaver just go? The new normal for me in quarantine is causing me to burn less than I'm used to burning. And with my body, is it possible that is solely the thing that is impacting my weight loss? I am not burning as many calories as I think I am. Could that be it? I don't know. So when you're discouraged, what you have to do is you have to decide that you're going to press on, as the title says. And then you have to decide that you're going to pivot. And pivoting looks different to everybody, depending on what the thing that is discouraging you is. For me, it is solely the lack of progress I am seeing at the scale. So how am I going to pivot this? Well, for starters, and I'll get to your guys' comments in a second, so keep commenting and whatnot, but I want to get my whole thought out before I get distracted, because I'm very good at getting distracted, and it's taking all of my effort to not get distracted. The UPS man is about to deliver a Quest package that I'm pretty positive I don't care that I'm getting. There's some honestly for you, but I keep getting distracted by this. But so pivoting for me is, first of all, you guys remember in my May goals that, like, the first goal is to bust out of my weight decade. Guess who's still sitting 5 pounds away? Almost exactly 5.3 pounds away from that goal. Guess who only has 2 weeks left to achieve it? So the likelihood of me doing that is very low, very low. It is almost guaranteed that I will not succeed in that goal. And instead of being discouraged by that, because I'm feeling discouraged in this moment, but I need to get over it. Because instead of feeling discouraged about it, I need to go, okay, pivot. And I have dance training, so literally pivot is you step forward, and then on that foot, you turn in a different direction. And I'm like, how am I going to just go, nope, let's do something else and go in a different direction? What can we do? And so what I'm going to work on is exactly what I preached to you guys in the consistency calendar video. And that is going to be on my consistency. So the things that I am changing, gosh, I'm sorry, my nose itches. I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that my window's open. Hello, Pollen. Nice to see you. And I'm already thinking ahead to my June goals, even though it's the middle of May, because I'm like, all right, what needs to happen in the short term, meaning like in the next 6 weeks or so, to fix this, to accept this new normal, turn it, and make it work for me? Well, the weather is finally getting nice outside. We had our weird cold spell. Today we're supposed to be in the 70s. Next week we're in the 80s. This is the time that Brianna thrives. 80-degree weather. I can be outside. I'm feeling the warmth. My muscles are feeling great. This is my time to go. So here are the things that I'm doing. I told you guys about my walk this morning, right? That was not a mistake. That was not just for the mental health. I think I need to move more. Like, truly, I need to move more. And like, working out, doing just lift 4 is not enough. And then doing housework is not enough. So I'm going to start every day that weather permits. I'm walking every day. And what I'm going to do, I've been working on this virtual race. I told you guys about it ages ago. And then like the whole moving thing happened, and this race that was 121 miles kind of got pushed to the side. So I'm still working on that race, but once I finish it, I want to finish up that virtual race, earn my medal, and then I'm going to start a new one that I'm going to earn solely on walking workouts, meaning none of the steps, none of anything counts towards earning this medal unless I'm outside walking. Nothing. Because I don't know when the next time I'm going to get to go to the gym is. I don't know when I'm going to get to go on an elliptical and just burn my calories. Are you coming up much lower on your average step goal? I'm not. I'm hitting 10,000 almost every day. There are some days that I'm clocking in lower, but that also includes the housework I'm doing. So I get steps when I fold laundry. I get steps when I'm talking with my hands, And most of the time I don't really care, but if I'm only getting 10,000 steps, am I really getting 10,000 steps? So one of the things I think I'm going to do is I'm going to up my step goal, right? Going to up my step goal. I'm going to start walking in addition to Lift 4. I finished week 4 of Lift 4 today. I'm halfway done. And I feel really good about that. I'm loving Lift 4, and that's not changing. But I need to do more. I need to do more because I'm convinced that this is the problem. Aren't you still getting 70K per week? I am, Rosie. I'm getting 70K per week. Last week, I literally got 70,165 steps in the week. Like, I made sure when I went to bed on Sunday that I passed that 70K mark. So, but if you recall, in the past, there are weeks that I've gotten 100,000 steps. Like, the reality of quarantine is I've slowed way down. And it's a lot harder to get all the steps in. It's a lot harder. And so that's that's big area number 1. I'm really not getting as much work done as I think I am. So I need to make the active choice to go and do more. Okay. So I'm going to go for walks. Our neighborhood is perfect for walking in. It's wonderful. So I'm going to start doing that once a day, maybe twice a day. Add more steps. So I got to up my step goal, do the movement, do more movement, right? And then the other thing is I have a new Post-it note here. So the way that Jordan Syatt, who's Syatt Fitness on Instagram, whose Inner Circle I did, whatever, the way he calculates the calories is you have a low calorie day range and a high calorie day range. They're not that different. It's just you get a little bit more on the high calorie days. You're supposed to have 4 low calorie days and 3 high calorie days a week just to keep things moving and going, right? And my original, I threw the Post-it note away, didn't I? My original, like I said, was somewhere between 1,500 and 1,600 for my low calorie days and 1,650 to 1,725 for my high calorie days. I've decided, and I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I mean, logically it would, because the fewer calories you consume, the bigger your deficit, the more you lose, right? I gave myself my own numbers. And not because I want to lose weight fast or anything like that. This is solely, sticking to my computer. This is solely because I'm working under the hypothesis that with my less muscle mass, I'm actually burning fewer calories than the normal version of me would be. So that is the sole purpose for this. What if normal Brianna, no CMT Brianna could use those previous numbers and have it work flawlessly for her? But what if, because of my disease, I actually need fewer calories because of my muscle mass? So my new numbers that I'm going to do this week, low day is going to be 1,300 to 1,450, and my high days are going to be 1,450 to 1,600. And we're going to try that, and we're going to see how that works. So I'm upping my movement, I'm lowering my calories, I'm still following carb conscious, and we're going to see how that goes, because I'm freaking out of ideas, basically. Something's got to change. And I don't know what it is. The only other thing I could think of is we have not been going to bed at 10 o'clock like I want to be. We are managing to finish watching TV at 10 o'clock, but that doesn't, I still by the time like my husband actually gets into bed, it's 11 o'clock. And I'm like, this is not working for me. I got to be a lot stricter about my bedtime. So like, I'm also a little bit more tired, but like really, I think it's about less calories and more movement, truly. And we'll try that for a little while and see how it goes. And the focus is not going to be, again, the weight is just going to be a data point, as it should be. And my goal, instead of let's get out of this weight decade by the end of the month, I just want to see all of those X's for consistency on my calendar, straight through the end of May, straight through June, and we'll see where we land at the beginning of summer. That's the plan. That's the plan. And I've legitimately rambled on for like 20 something minutes. So now let's get back to those comments, shall we? Ooh. Could show on the scale next week. Audrey, you're right. It could show on the scale next week. We will see. I don't know. I'm at least curious, not sure if I'm convinced, but it makes a lot of sense. Lissa, I agree with you. If I didn't agree with you in your theory of my muscle mass and calorie burn, I wouldn't be trying this. But I really think there's something to it. Can I turn this thing? No, I turned it too... I feel like I'm still up too high. Oh, it would help if I turned it the right way. Oh, guys, I tell you what. There we go. Could you have undereaten? I addressed that. What else do we got? Long lines at the grocery store. That's one of the reasons we need to go to the grocery store. One of us is going to be making a grocery store run at some point. And I can't decide if it's smart for me to wait until Monday, because Monday's when the world opens up. So does that mean going to the grocery store is going to blow? Because if that's the case, maybe I'll go this weekend. But I don't really like grocery shopping on the weekends. It sucks. Even things like barriers at the cash register to separate or having to stand feet away from the card terminal definitely impacts me. Yep. It's just, the new normal is very weird. It feels wrong. It feels weird. It feels taboo to be outside, and that's what triggered me on Wednesday. And I don't go out, and I just need to start going out more. I really do. And my mom's like, you're allowed to go grocery shopping. You're allowed to do those things. And I think the problem is like, we're making it such an ordeal that like, oh, we have to go and we spend a couple $100 and then we don't go to the grocery store for another 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm like, what if I just went to the stupid grocery store? Guys, I want to go to Trader Joe's so bad. I haven't been to Trader Joe's since February, maybe even earlier. We have no Trader Joe's food left. And I'm desperate to go to Trader Joe's. I was like, maybe Brianna, maybe your goal for next week should be to frickin' drive out to Bloomington and go to Trader Joe's. Maybe. And that would be a huge accomplishment. The more you get out, the easier it'll be. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And after talking with my mom yesterday, I'm like, I just need to go outside. I need to go and expose myself to this new normal. Because again, it's not ending anytime soon. We're all going to be wearing masks. We're all going to be doing the things. We just need to go out and do it. And get used to it. And then it'll be normal. And all that jazz. So, sadly, reassuring that I'm not the only one who gets anxious. I'm okay most of the times, but sometimes it gets so needy I can't even stand myself. I relate, Marie. I relate. That's a YouTube video idea. Go get that tested. I would love to. I don't know what the test I need is. I want to get tested so bad. Is it a medical procedure that like can go through insurance? What is the thing that like gets me all of the information about my body specifically? Because the problem is when you do like the, oh, let's test your, like the tests you can do at home based on like circumference or this and weight and like even the like the scale, my scale tells me my muscle mass and tells me my BMR and everything. I don't know how accurate that is. But I can't imagine it's based on somebody with my muscle tone. I don't know. I don't know what the test is called. But I want to do it. I desperately want to do it. I think we're prone to overestimating the amount of calories we're burning and underestimate the calories you're consuming. Yep. It doesn't help the calculators tend to overestimate that information. Yeah, so can you ask the CMT clinic people? I could, and I should. I actually did. I ripped them apart with questions, but I did ask about nutrition. I was like, have there been any studies done about like what kind of diets are good for people with CMT? Like, is there a study that actually proves my thought of more protein is better for me versus non-CMT Brianna eating that same amount of protein? Is that a thing? And he had no answer for me. And then I said, on the opposite end of the spectrum, what foods are bad? Like, what should we stay away from? And for that, he said, anything that can cause neuropathy. Sugar can cause diabetes, can cause neuropathy. You don't want that because you already have neuropathy. And the same thing goes for alcohol. Alcohol is something you should generally stay away from, which, while I do drink on occasion, I do not like getting drunk, and I definitely am very careful when you like get close to that line of like, oh, this could be a really bad decision, because that time when like you start to not be able to feel things. I already have a disease that has me starting to not feel things, so I have to be real careful, and I don't like that, and I know that like that's beating down nerves that are already dying. So like we have those guidelines, but there was no real information on it. I'm like, well, freaking, how do I become a scientist that can start to conduct nutrition studies for CMT people? Because that's fascinating to me. Would have thought the new normal would have played a part in not burning as many calories. It would have been the case before February and March. I don't know. Are you coming in much lower on your average step goal? We already talked about that. Sorry guys, I'm catching up. You guys did a lot of talking while I was talking. I'm getting ready to hopefully get on my treadmill today. If this goes on for much longer, if we end up being told that like maybe our gyms aren't opening until September or something, I'm gonna really push to get an elliptical in this house, because I just need something. I need to run, and I can't run, not yet. So I need something more. So we'll see. Hopefully we get news about the gyms soon, because Minnesota's rule now is as of Monday, groups of 10 or less, which means the two places that I want to go, the gym and church, are still off limits. Great. Let me see. So you want intentional exercise steps. Yes, I want intentional exercise. I finished week 1 today, cried during my workout today. Lift 4 is intense. What about trying active minutes on Fitbit? That used to help me. It will really only count intentional exercise. That's interesting. That is interesting. What do I have so far today for active minutes? I have over an hour of active minutes already. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to mess around with all of these metrics and everything, and we'll see how that goes. Quarantine finally got to me today. Burnout and overwhelmed and got upset, trying to stay focused on things I can control, but struggling bad. Alicia, I hear you. I feel you. What are you focusing on? Tell me on the things that you can control that you're going to work on right now in this moment. Because quarantine. And again, I heard, who was it that said it? Was it the Hollises? I can't remember who I heard this from, but it was a pro tip to like help with the mindset. Stop calling it quarantine, which is something I need to work on. Because like I said, at this point, it's not quarantine anymore. It's our new normal. So if we stop calling it quarantine, we will stop treating it like it's temporary, because a lot of while the being shut in is temporary, the feelings and the events and everything of going out are not temporary for now. You know what I mean? It's just going to be what is for a while. So if we stop talking about it as quarantine, then it will help normalize what this is, which is the new normal. 1,000 steps walking around the house, 1,000 steps on the elliptical. Steps alone aren't enough. Yep. Calorie cycling. Mindy is on team calorie cycling. The 10 p.m. bedtime is our bedtime, but we crawl into bed about 10:15 and wind up watching some fails videos for an hour. Exactly. And like, oh, the sleep. This morning, I got woken up out of a dead sleep because I had my earplugs in, and my husband turned off my alarm. Like, he was standing at my bedside, and that's what woke me up, was him turning off my alarm that I didn't hear because I was dead to the world. Like, there's something that I need more rest, man. I'm going to try and join you with the X's. That's amazing, Rosie. Don't try. Do it. Do the consistency calendar. How many X's you earn is on you, but do the consistency calendar. And I can't tell you, I've gotten several messages today or throughout this week of people showing me that they're starting the consistency calendar because of my video, and I'm so excited about that. That is so cool. So if you are in on the consistency calendar thing, post it on Instagram, tag me, I want to see, because that's awesome. The realization that there may be a connection to your CMT and BMR came from the thought that if we were both put on our stats in an online calculator, our numbers would be pretty close. I need to get the calendar. Yep. The more you get out, the easier it'll be. Yep. The bonus video at the end of the Made to Crave book study. Will you be posting this, or are we done? Beth, I thought that we were, I was acting as though we were done. I will see if I still have access to the videos. I canceled my subscription after I posted the 6th video. Because I didn't want to keep paying the money for the thing that I was not using anymore. It could go either way. There are going to be people who are going to jump right into getting back to normal and people who are going to still avoid things. Check Obese to Beast channel. He did one of those body scans and the name of it's in the video. Perfect, Lindsay. Thank you. I always try to go grocery shopping when it's not so busy. I'm with you. If they are, I might can't. I'm not sure what's going to how I'm going to react. Will I be back to the gym as soon as they open? Will I want to wait? If they are, I might cancel my. Oh yeah, if I can't do masks at a gym. No, I cannot. I cannot do masks at a gym. Church is closed in Ireland. Have my treadmill and my stationary bike and weights. Sandra, you are set. That's awesome. I'm jealous. I hate leg days with a passion. I've gotten annoyed by the quarantine phrase. I've stood against that terminology the entire time. You are better than me. I played with it for a while because it was also kind of a way to like be like, oh, how to do this in quarantine and that in quarantine. And it was a trending phrase to get you a different way to create content. But now I'm like, I literally typed in the blog post that I haven't published yet today, but it's like day 61 of quarantine. When is it just not quarantine anymore and just regular life? I think we're there. I'm going to keep tracking how many, well, I don't even have to keep tracking because the world's not even going to go back to normal anytime soon. So I just need to know the start date. That's all. Oh, man, guys. Tell you what. Earlier in the week, I was so upset I cried because everything was getting to me. But Mick and I had some telephone chats and that helped me so much. Good. I can control what I eat, how much tech I'm using besides work, how much exercise I can do, and maintaining personal relationships with friends. Alicia, you are absolutely right. So focus on those things. It is the weekend. It is your time. So make a list right now of things that you're going to do specifically, and make a list of a couple of things, the joy list, if you will. What's something that just straight up brings you joy, and go do those things, as long as the things are open. Agreed. It's just that I have 6 more weeks of what I'm doing right now and I'm scared to make any other commitments. That's true, but it's not, I don't know that it's necessarily a commitment because it's something that you've always kind of been doing, right? The consistency thing, like, especially if it's for food tracking, you always want to be on for the food tracking. You've just fallen off the wagon or taken a foot off the wagon or done something like that. And the consistency calendar is not a whole new thing. It's not a whole new thing, especially for those of you that are here for weight loss topics, which is most of you. The consistency calendar is just a way of tracking whether or not you're doing the things that you should have been doing or have been wanting to do the whole time. That's what it is. So for me, like I said in that video, consistency, I earn the X if I did my water, if I do 30 minutes of movement, and if I stay within my calorie goal. Yes, I'm still doing iTrack Bites Carb Conscious, but the calories are more than that because if you start thinking about calories, you have to count your produce. So I'm doing that for a while just until I get my head on straight, double tracking at its finest. I feel like we're in a weird phase where we're not quite the new normal. That's what frustrates me. I can't adjust to new normal until I know what of this is staying and what isn't. And the problem is we don't know because it's still going to change all the time. The way the governor of Minnesota stated it the other day when he gave his, okay, so we're lifting the shelter in place order, he talked about it as like a dial and he goes, we're going to dial it up just a little bit, But if we need to dial it back down, if we find that we dialed it up too much and we have to go back to shelter in place, we will do that. So there is absolutely the possibility that the world opens up and then 3 weeks later we get shut down again. It just totally depends. We don't know. So we cannot depend on anything to be, I don't want to say consistent, but because we're working on consistency, but it's consistency with the things we can control. We cannot depend on anything we don't have control over to remain consistent. Let's put it that way. So let's say you can't wait. You can't wait for the new normal to actually be normal. The new normal is a state of flux and abnormality. That is the new normal. Get used to it. I have an exercise only consistency calendar. That's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think I'm caught up on messages. Y'all, I caught up on your messages. You guys did a lot of talking while I did talking. So that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Lowering my calories, upping my intentional activity, and seeing where it goes. Seeing where it goes. So now I can't decide. I don't even know if I have enough footage to publish my week on the Fab Four smoothie video. Do you guys still want to see it if it's a complete hodgepodge of not quality content? That's my question. I don't actually know how much I have filmed. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Maybe I'll put, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. Okay. I just have to think through things out loud sometimes. There's a possibility we will go forward and then back. Again, we will, yep. We can only follow the flow of life. That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So what we can do, summer is coming. It's nice outside. Take advantage of that to the best of your ability. Like I said, one of the greatest things that I did was take that walk this morning because it was so peaceful. Like, it was dead and weird, but not like, I didn't mind that at 8 o'clock in the morning. Walking and having no, like, we walked by a couple of people and you know what we did? We smiled at each other and all said good morning and it was lovely. It was lovely. So, like, I don't know. I don't even know, guys. All I know is my Fab Four smoothie experiment failed me this week, or I failed it. I probably failed it in some way, shape, or form. But we're working on it. We're learning, we're growing. I am pivoting away from my, if I happen to hit it, Lord only knows. If the scale gods want me to drop 5 pounds in 2 weeks and I manage to make that goal by the end of the month, praise Jesus. But I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. I need to focus on consistency and just keeping my head down and doing my thing. I'm going to test drive the lower calorie. Got my goals right here. I literally have it on this Post-it note so I can post it up on my desk so I can see my numbers all day. So they're in the forefront of my mind. And that's what I'm going to do. When you're discouraged, you got to figure out what's next and pivot and go that direction. Come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. And I have an active plan. I have active items that I'm going to change in order to hopefully see improvement. And you know what? If I find that 3 weeks from now that didn't help, that clearly wasn't the problem, and I can pivot again and figure out what the heck is the problem. This journey is trial and error and more trial and probably more error. And that's what makes it a lifelong journey, I suppose, right? This ain't quick. This ain't quick. But we're going to get through it. We're all going to get through it as long as you keep your head down and you keep focused. So, do we have any last minute comments before I sign off for the day? I'm excited the fact that church is going to be one of the first things to get to do that's normal. Yeah, well, and you go to such a small church that that's awesome for you. That's awesome. I didn't even think about the fact that you'd be able to go back to church if you meet in groups of 10 or fewer, like a Bible study. For us, nope. Went back to town last Sunday to get Quest bars, but they were all sold out. Oh, that's a bummer. You'll find them eventually, Audrey. You'll find them eventually. All right, my friends. I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for hanging out and listening to me rant. I hope that you got something beneficial out of listening to me think through my own personal pivot on this journey and the key elements that I think, hey, this quarantine, this situation that we're in, this might be how it's messing with me. How do I fix that? Because it's turned into so much more than just do the plan and do your workout. It's clearly not enough, because my workout before was go to body pump for an hour and spend 6 or 7 minutes on each group of my body and lifting heavy weights, and then hopping on an elliptical for half an hour to 45 minutes, and then doing all of my errands and all of my things and all of the housework and all of that, to eliminating that whole gym process and cutting back. And that's not enough. So it's been a whole thing. It's been a whole learning process, and it's taken me 61 days, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're figuring it out, what the new normal is. So I hope that you found some benefit in me thinking out loud and working through this problem in real time with you guys, because we all have these things that we gotta pivot on and we gotta do. So take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Do something fun for yourself, and I'll talk to you next week.